seated in the confessions booth with a gentleman. I'm always excited when the men come here with their stories, and a mature man for that matter. This is Confessions on TV3. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Your story, your confession. My ears are wide opened, but my lips are sealed. Shoot.
I'm 63 years old man. I happen to have a very large family.
Okay.
There's this particular brother of mine who is about 3-4 years ahead of me.
Okay.
We're very close. He has a lot of properties and he is a wealthy person. I happen to be his assistant in most of the things he was doing. But there's this one particular cocoa farm that he gave me money to purchase. And when he passed away, the lawyers came, all family members were there. They read the will.
Okay.
And I personally realized that that cocoa farm that he gave me money to purchase some years back was exempted.
In the will.
In the will. So I was thinking, oh, because I've been of good service to him, willingly, within his heart, he has given me that cocoa farm. So throughout about 35 years of my life, I've been feeding on that cocoa farm. I made money out of that place, and I take care of my family, and also I give part of the money to some of the family members too as well.
Of course.
But they don't know the source of it.
Yes.
Now I am not feeling that well.
Okay.
And once in a while I get a dream. And it sounds like my brother will come into my dreams and he keeps saying, Fejapadi and mom. Fejapadi and mom. Give them the property. I've been thinking, there's no property that I owe that the lawyers did not give to the families. But over a reflection of some time, I came to realize that there's this one particular cocoa farm that I bought that I've been feeding on over the years.
Yeah.
And I have been thinking maybe that is what my brother, that is why my brother keep coming.
That particular cocoa farm that
Yes.
was not mentioned in the will,
Yes.
that you did not disclose.
Yes.
You feel that is why your brother is still coming into your dreams.
Yes. And just about 3 weeks ago, the chiefs in my village also invited me. Even though I wasn't feeling well, I had to ask my children to take me. And they are telling me there's this exploration that a gold has been found in our cocoa farm. And they wanted to offer me money. But because of this dream, I don't know what to do, Miss Nancy. I sometimes,
That is his story, that is his confession. The man knew that he had bought cocoa lands. He left that particular one out of his will. Do we take it that it was a gift? Does he really have to return it to his children just because of a dream? Can we take dreams that seriously? Let us go into the studio, meet with our resource persons and the studio audience and see if dreams are indeed that important. We already seated in the studio and we've heard the confession. And people, are you with me? Yes. It's just a dream that is frustrating the peace of this man. He's unhappy because he dreamt and saw his dead brother. He is sick and he knows that he may not make it considering his age. But he's worried about his children and his grandchildren because of the dreams. Should we take dreams that seriously? Please.
Thank you, Miss Nancy. My name is Emily, a student from Aubrey Institute of Technology. So first of all, I would like to ask the confessor, was the cocoa farm bought in his name or it was bought in the brother's name?
Well, the cocoa farm, sir, was it bought in your name or it was bought in your brother's name?
Most of the times, he would just ask me to go and purchase something, but because of the trust that we have, he would normally say, "What do you koto?" Like, go and purchase it. We don't.
But
normally
did you buy it in your name or in his name?
Miss Nancy, we just bought it, and I always work on it and then give him the money until he passed.
Yeah, and that's been the lifestyle you both have had.
Yes, please.
There was no love lost, no trust lost between them. So it did not matter whose name was on the paper. He knew who it was for.
Okay. But before you could purchase a property, it must be bought in a name.
Yes.
So if, let's take it to be his answer is no, then I think the cocoa farm doesn't belong to him. So he should release it to the family for peace sake.
And even if he bought it in his own name and he knew that his brother didn't say, buy it for yourself, it is for me, but I need you to front it. For so many reasons all over Ghana, people have properties in the names of sometimes their side chicks. Does it belong to them? Yes.
Miss Nancy, to me, I think that because the brother didn't include the farm in his will, I'm sure he's actually given to him for his services for all those years that he has been working with him. But I believe that the brother is coming to the dream because he wants the brother to confess to the family that, okay, this is what I had with my brother. So when I saw the cocoa, maybe I will share the money with you.
From what he says, he's been supporting his own family and the other extended family with the proceeds of the cocoa. He's not been selfish.
Oh, okay.
He's not being selfish. Well, I think that it's a good time for us to bring in our counselors to come into the studio so we can have a deeper conversation about this dream. Now we have a prophet in the studio, probably for the first time. And why do we have a prophet? Because this is a special prophet who specializes in dreams and revelations. His name is Prophet Ecole Daniels. Ladies and gentlemen, let him feel welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Prophet.
How are you?
I'm nice. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
That is Prophet Ecole Daniels, Road Time Ministries at East Legon. You are here because somebody dreamt.
Yeah.
And to give you support is Lady Pastor Ada. Let us make her feel wonderful and welcome again. For issues like this, a feminine touch always makes it better, doesn't it? Lady Pastor Ada. Oh, there you are, girl. Good to have you.
Good to have you, Miss Nancy.
Thank you. So we commence the conversation. Also, for you are here because of dreams.
Yes, please.
2 years ago, I had a dream. I was living in a mansion with a swimming pool. I was actually throwing a housewarming party. All my friends and family were there. We were so happy. My dear, I'm still living in that apartment. Should we take dreams seriously at all?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for having me. Dreams are basically ways spirits communicate to men. And so I wouldn't want to limit it to just God, but diverse spirits are able to possess men and communicate their intention by way of dreams. And so what you saw is actually a projection that has the potential of manifesting. And it's proper to use the word potential because some come through, some do not come through, based on the understanding we have. And every dream is explainable, but not every dream is needful to say.
So, I mean, there are dreams that are trashy dreams. There are dreams that we cannot take seriously, and there are those that you should not sleep, whether it's good or bad.
Basically, there are two parts of men that dream, just for basic understanding. So your soul dreams, and then your spirit dreams as well.
Okay.
So you realize that some people say they watched a movie and then they slept and they saw, you know,
they continue the movie kind
the
of
stuff, you know, thereafter. That's your soul, because that's where your emotions and stuff takes place. And then your spirit as well dreams. Normally, when it's your soul dreaming, it's not very important, even though it can be explained, like I'm saying. But when spirits want to communicate, they are interested in your spirit. And so when you have a dream, you need to explain it or tell it to somebody who understands. And dream interpretation is a gift God gives to men. You know, so there are people who understand dreams, and
you are one of them, and that is why you are on the show. Oh, let us celebrate the man that can interpret dreams.
By the grace of God.
This is a dream that a brother is speaking to. Also, I will come back to you with a dream. But Lady Pastor Ada, I have a brother that trusts me.
Right.
Gave me a property. I bought a property in his name. He is no more. He had a will, had a lawyer. He could have placed that property in his will and willed it to whoever he wanted. He didn't. Can I believe that was a gift to me?
Yes, it's a gift. But when your brother gives you a gift, it means that you have to utilize the gift in the way that your brother was using it.
Okay. So for you, in this case, the cocoa farm is a gift from his brother.
If he had a will.
What if he never saw his lawyer and then nobody knows when they are called home? So he just died without putting it in his will.
Okay.
Because if it was for him, wouldn't he have said that, take this, it is for you?
So my point is that, how many are we? Probably just two. And in a traditional setting, it is usually ideal that your next of kin is your brother, or you know, or your wife or children. And if I did not will, but I trusted in the eye of everybody, you are my brother, and you take over. It is not every gift is a free gift. Some gifts are responsibilities. There are some gifts that when people give to you, you have to have the audacity to say, no, thank you. Because when you take some gift, it means that whatever the gift comes with, whatever the gift was taken care of, or whatever the consequences, dangers, benefit of that gift, you have to occupy that position as well.
Yeah.
So if this looks like that kind of gift and you didn't say no, don't take it for just you. You take it in your brother's name.
If he was a fair man, if he was an honest man, after the reading of the will, with the family, wife, and children around, do not I say that, and my brother made me acquire so and so, and it belongs to me now, or just so the family knows that my brother didn't leave me empty and that he gave me something. Is that not fair?
That should be fair. But again, Miss Nancy, men have a way of doing things. I don't always want to reason things as a woman. Sometimes I want to reason it as a man.
As a man, yeah.
The silence of a man communicates more than they speaking.
Yes.
Furthermore, I want my brother to be in charge because, and be quiet about it, because it could bring contention in the future. Everybody would want that property. Wife will come for it. Children will come for it. Family head will come for it. But I believe, and you know, he did that based on trust, that if my brother takes that office as me, he would run it the way I was running it, or I will run it.
In this case, we would actually need a legal person, a lawyer, to confirm to us I mean, I'm sure these are situations being experienced all over Ghana, all over Africa, and even the world, that people left things in other people's care. There are properties that are rotting away because people had things that they never even disclosed.
It in the
Yes,
things that
so
they
in
have.
situations like this, how are you supposed to? Back to Osofo and for dreams purposes. Are there certain dreams, when you dream, how do you know this is a dream I should take seriously? Or this is a dream that came out just because of the kokonte and kotodwe kwai I ate last night? Or this is a dream that is coming from my soul or my spirit? How do you know that this is a dream you should take seriously?
Okay, so thank you very much, Miss Nancy. So when you read the book of Genesis 20, you realize that God appears to Abimelech in a dream to settle a matter between Abimelech and Abraham and the wife Sarah. Dreams that often you ought to take serious comes to witness to your spirit, something you already know. So, and then it unsettles your spirit to find answers. So
when you have a dream and you feel uncomfortable, you cannot forget it, and you become curious about the dream, you should mind that dream.
Yes, exactly. Like I said, it unsettles your spirit.
Yes.
It needs to express itself. The dream is looking for expression, and it will keep hunting you until you realize a manifestation or an explanation of it that guides your purpose. You understand? So in the case of Abimelech, for example, God comes and speaks about somebody being a wife to Abraham when Abraham had said that that's my sister. You realize that the man will have a hunt on him. And so dreams that normally needs to be taken very serious comes to witness to you something you already know. By your spirit, I mean. By your spirit, because man is first a spirit. So that's how we should take dreams very
But
serious.
the ones that we are not supposed to take seriously.
The ones that you normally are not supposed to take serious. You realize that it doesn't, your spirit, first of all, wouldn't really witness to it. If it's about your soul dreaming, you also realize that you can easily forget it.
But also, you know how when you have a dream and somebody close to you is dead, or you are dead, or you've lost money or a property, you become unhappy and you are frustrated and you cannot sleep. Yet, I had a dream that I had a mansion with a swimming pool. I actually threw a party in that dream. And the next morning, I was not feeling any joy in my soul. How come the negatives have such effect on us?
It's also an expression of your heart. The state of your heart also has an effect in how you see your dreams. So, for example, what you just said, if somebody has a dream and dreams that maybe they are dead or somebody is dead, it does not necessarily mean they are about to die. Okay. Or it does not necessarily mean that the person they saw is about to die. In the depth of spirituality, it can mean that the person will have a longer life. Okay. Based on who is seeing it, yes, and based on how it happened. So I believe that with your dream of how my
mansion with a swimming pool, housewarming. My big sister was there. She was 7. I saw it live in college.
Yeah, and then you wake up and then you're not feeling that kind of excitement, is it?
It was joyful, just that it didn't last.
Yeah, but in the dream...
Yes, I was really happy. I woke up with a smile.
So, it tells you the state of what you actually deserve in life. I'm sure you do.
People clap for my dream.
May it come to pass.
Do we need special things? I mean, Ada, you're also here. Do we need to do special things about the dreams? When we have dreams and they are not too good, when we have dreams and they are too good, what are some of the steps that we can take to make it a reality or to abort operation?
So at this point, let me be a prophet's daughter.
Okay.
So when you have a dream, good or bad, Osofo mentioned that, Prophet mentioned that, you need to tell it to a person who is gifted in that office to give you a better interpretation. So first off, get the interpretation of your dream. Joseph did the same. He went straight to his brothers to tell him, and then when, he was seeking for what his dream meant. Now, once you've gotten the interpretation of your dream, it is your sole responsibility to pray your dream into reality. So your mansion, if you had a picture of it, if I had that dream, I'll go to the nearest architect and tell him, I had this dream. My father said it could come to pass in the next 2 years. I print it out, I bring it home, I put it on my prayer altar, and God help me. It will take 3 hours of my life every day for that 2 hours until I see it. It's a conscious thing. Some are blessed that, God works in a certain way. God, some days he will just give you without stress. But for some of us are trained to acquire things through prayer, maintain it through prayer, and keep it running through prayer.
A lot of work, huh?
A lot of work.
And yet people get it free of charge.
That is God. You can't box him. He can just let you have a dream and not pray about it, and you still have it.
Have it.
Some of us will have to go through the dream version. That is why you got to understand the dimension, the direction, and the medium at which God is working with you. So you don't compare yourself to somebody. Somebody had a dream, they didn't pray about it, it came to pass. You need to have an understanding. If you don't have, you are not gifted, look for someone who genuinely is gifted. He's my pastor, so I went to my pastor. Not every man of God has that gift. So go to who is the right person. Go there genuinely. Have an interpretation. If it is truly, really, it's a bad moment, you stand in. And if you can't, why are we Christians? Why do we have each other? Call on your brother. Hold hands with me. Let's corporate prayer. Let's just, end this thing before it happens. If it's not, and if it's a good thing, equally, you can call people because, man, you are going to share your party.
Yes,
the people,
you are invited. So you should start praying about it.
Also,
you are invited to the party.
I'm praying about it. I need to be there.
Invited people.
Thank you very
So let's all pray.
Yeah.
First of all, let's look at some basic dream interpretations. When you dream and somebody is giving birth or you are pregnant, what could it mean?
Okay, I want to say something before that.
Please.
So let me say that there are no stuck or, for example, let me use your word, basic interpretation of dreams. That is very, that can actually sway people off. So if you have a dream and you are pregnant and maybe you are delivering, if you had that dream and my sister had the same dream, the meanings are not the same. You understand? So I have a problem when people write a book and say dream and interpretation.
So it's about the individual.
The individual. Every dream is peculiar to the one seeing it. You understand? Yes. So we have to look at the destiny of the person, the purpose of the person, the orientation. A lot comes in interpreting dreams. And that is why you need a gift. So I wouldn't want to sit here and speak and say, oh, if you have a dream and you are pregnant and you are delivering, it means that you are going to get pregnant in physicality. Actually, it has nothing to do with that. Normally, maybe I would have said that, oh, it means something great is about to be birthed out of you. And the question is, what is that great thing? Another man of God may tell you, oh, Benyam. You understand? You're going to get pregnant and you're going to have a baby. It depends on even the depth of the word of God settled in the heart of the man interpreting that dream. So dreams are very sensitive. If you are interpreting a dream, the slightest mistake can mislead a destiny. There's the little mistake you make. And let me add to what my sister said. Every dream has its directive that brings manifestation. I'm a man of prayer, I believe in prayer, but not every dream requires you to pray a lot. Sometimes it requires a voice. So Joseph would interpret a dream in prison. After they spoke the dream, he tells them, do this, do that. When you go, remember me. And it happened.
Yes.
Some people are altars in person. They just have to speak a word for you. Sometimes they have to direct you, oh, okay, you have this dream. The meaning is that go and sit at Accra Mall at this time. And by this time, you realize that this person will come and meet you. It's a directive. God appears to Abimelech and tells him, the man is a prophet. He didn't introduce himself as a prophet, but God tells him, the man is a prophet.
Yes.
Go to him. He will pray for you. It comes with an instruction. You understand? And when he prays for you, he saves you, saves your life, and that of your whole township. That's a guy who probably lied. You understand? So when I'm speaking about dreams, I'm very careful because somebody, like my sister said, she's trained into prayer. So for her, she's going to pray it and pray it and pray it. It might work for her. But for another person, you go and tell somebody the dream. The person looks at the dream and said, oh, call your brother.
Don't we all know of you dreaming and then eating, and the next moment it's either you are getting sick or you are a witch or wizard?
You see.
You don't agree to that one?
No, me,
Eating
I don't
in
like.
dreams is not bad.
It's not.
No.
Look, as a prophet, right, I've had dreams where I'm feeding on bread.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm eating sickness.
Okay.
You understand? It means so many other things based on what I'm communicating to God with, what I'm communicating with God for.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So, again, I have a problem personally when I see somebody writes a book and writes, if you eat in a dream, it means you are eating sickness. If you see somebody pounding fufu, it means they are pounding your head. Hey. It doesn't make sense. You know?
Now, this is very educative and exciting at the same time. Ada, do we sometimes take our frustrations and our fears and our joys into our dreamlands?
Yes. Yes, we do. So Prophet explained that, some dreams are of the spirit and some are of the soul. Some are just your mind playing games on you. So I said earlier that when you have a dream, you go and see somebody who can interpret it. So, you feel, you go and see a prophet and you say, there's nothing really going to happen to you. And mostly because we dwell a lot of time in our soul realm, unless you are somebody who really want to be a spirit person. We are mostly in our emotion, with our psychology, with all those things. So when we go to sleep, we go to sleep with that. How many of us go to bed, shut our spirit, our soul down, and move into the spirit realm and say, Father, tonight is with you? We go to bed with the last fufu we had eaten, drank some wine, brush our teeth, and then some movie, and then use a mouthwash, check your phone, and see who said the last terrible thing to you, or the last thing you watch on social media. And that is the last registration of your mind. An average Christian. Then you close your eyes, even forget to say a prayer. And then you sleep. So you are still operating in your soul. The last thing you saw has a high tendency of rolling or continuing in your mind. So if you watch a horror movie late night, by 2...
Terrible dreams. Terrible dreams. Horror.
You will see the continuity in your mind, because that is the last thing you registered in your emotions or in your mind. And so
if you had no idea, tonight on Confessions, you've learned that when you're going to bed, mind what you see, mind what you think about, mind the last things you said to others and others said to you, because you can definitely take it into a dream. Let us take this break. When we come back, we go right back to the man that dreamt. You are welcome back. This is still Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy, and I'm queening in my royal chair by EcoPlus. MTN everywhere you go, making sure you're having impactful conversations on television. People, are you good? Yes. Yeah, so tell me, someone had a comment or a question?
Okay, mine is a comment.
Your name?
Good evening. My name is Charles.
Hi, Charles. Your first time on Confessions.
Yes, this is my
Thank
first
you
time.
for coming.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Going by the context of the confessions we are talking about today, tonight, I think there is a missing link. The person behind the confession, there are things he is not saying. Why I say that is this. Just like our two resource persons have said, dreams could be seen from two angles. One, spirit communication. Two, activities within your environment.
Yeah.
I think in this context, what is actually happening is activities within his environment.
The fact that gold just was realized on the land and the value has multiplied.
Yes. But deeper than that is about his conscience.
Yeah.
There are things, you know, that he could have, there are agreements he could have had with his brother. You know, it could be verbal, it could be by any other means of communication. Like the lady said, you know, men don't talk too much. There are things men will do that will mean things, but being his brother, he knows, he understands. But within him, he is not saying it.
Yeah.
So the environment, his conscience, that dream is about his conscience telling him, this is what you know, do what you know, or do what is right. So, having said that, I think the best thing for him to do is to own up. Tell the family, this is what has happened. You know, the family could decide, you know, it is for you, it is for who, or for the benefit of the whole family. Is his conscience speaking to him? He has to obey his conscience.
Listen to his
Thank
conscience.
you.
Because your conscience is the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a good one, Charles. Yes, there was a
Miss Nancy,
gentleman in
I
MTN.
I understand he has been working with his brother for a very long time.
Yes.
In his lifetime. And he doesn't do anything aside working with his brother.
Yeah.
My question is that I want to know if he received any gifts or any asset from his brother after his death.
Mister, did you?
Yes, please, Miss Nancy. He gave me one of the Land Cruisers that we normally use for our rounds.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. He received a Land Cruiser from his brother. It was in the will.
And the second question is I want to ask of Sofo. He is a spiritual man, so.
Prophet Ecole Daniels.
Yes. So I want to know if ghosts exist. Because there's look in our local this thing, they normally say that there's something called Nsamansie. So when maybe somebody entrusted you with something and maybe asked you to take care of the family or something, and you refuse it, they say that there's the ghost come back and be hunting you or maybe talking to you to give it back to the.
Also, for you are into dreams, are you into ghosts as well?
Well, I can't escape it because I'm a spiritual person.
Okay, so you believe there are ghosts?
I understand what he's asking, and I think I would have to address it.
Please go ahead.
So there are ghosts, but not as we think it is. So in some families or in some clan, when somebody dies, you know, they go to a place and go and call the spirit of the person they believe, and then they ask questions of what has happened, etc., like that. And so I believe that's some of the things that they call ghost. However, anybody that you ever see is not the exact person you are seeing, or it's not a true representation of who you are seeing. So for example, if you go and call a spirit and then you think that is your grandfather who has come up to speak on a matter, there's something called familiar spirits who walk with men. They know men, they understand who you are, and they are demons who are able to assume certain positions and give you certain informations about yourself or about someone else. Even in the prophetic, you know, how we are able to see things and how we are able to download information is an exercise of spiritual disciplines. You understand? So to answer my brother, it is not ghost as you think it is. Maybe, God forbid, somebody passed away in your family and then you went out somewhere and you saw that person in your dream and then you felt like the person has come to you as a ghost. It's just a spirit possessing another form. You understand? Or let me use this as an example. Some people have a dream and say, I saw my father coming to sleep with me. I get that a lot. Or I saw my mother having sex with me. So in that case like that, it is not your mother having sex with you. It is a spirit that has taken a form. You understand? And that form, when you see the form, you call that a ghost.
Well, since you brought that up, the young lady here was trying to ask me about people sleeping with people in dreams. When you have an ex that whenever you go to bed, you find yourself having sex with them in a dream, an ex-boyfriend or ex-husband. Is there something you should be worried about, or you are just missing the person? So go see the person and get out of your dreams and live it.
So beyond your conscience and your thought patterns are deep spiritual stuff. For example, the Bible says that if you become one with a harlot, you and that harlot have become one, or if you have any engagement with the harlot, you have become one with that harlot. What it means is that people are not just flesh, people are spirit, and every spirit have their own forms of altars they are engaged with. So in flesh, you can see somebody and you think he's a nice-looking guy in a kaftan. But in spirit, he's a snake. He has a form, a true identity. And so that ex you were probably dating could be something more powerful than you think. And the moment you engage yourself sexually, there's a covenant that has taken place. And that ex, based on their spirituality, can hold you at a ransom. So some people, and let me say this, and it's very important, during sex, people say all manner of stuff because their feelings are high and their emotions are running, and so they say all manner of stuff. They think they are jokes. So an ex can actually make you say, oh, promise you will never marry somebody apart from me. Promise we are blah, blah, blah. Those kind of stuff, And the woman will say all this manner of stuff because she's enjoying it. Those stuff you're saying.
And they're meant to, we get them to say
Of course. So yeah, let me say that. So they're meant to say all manner of stuff during sex, without you, I can never leave. If you leave me, I will not be anybody. You see those stuff you're saying? You are covenanting words with blood. You are covenanting words with spirit. And if both of you one day are no more, the stuff you said has become an altar that will chase you. It has become an altar that will speak against you. So that is why some of you, even after that relationship, you're not able to be with another person.
Exactly. Now, this is informative, and I am activating my ghost lover skills. These days, no talking, no anything. Let's take this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy. We're having a great conversation in the studio, but definitely let us step out onto the streets and know if people take their dreams seriously or not. What dreams they take seriously and those they trash.
Well, first of all, properties like this are a bit more spiritual, like a cocoa farm. So I believe, first thing first, it might be from the guilty conscience of the brother because he knows perfectly well that it is not his. He should also just go forward and let them know that this is what is there and this is what the brother says I should give to the family, so that it doesn't look like he was trying to steal it and now he's been disturbed, so he's giving it out.
He's holding on to something that doesn't belong to him. So he should just give it out, simple, to avoid what is coming next.
So basically, I think the properties should go to the children, not the brother himself. So that's the right thing to do.
It's not reality. It's just a dream. It's his brother. They are related and he's dead. So the property is his too. All he has to do is just take care of the kids. He can spend it, do everything he wants to do with it. He can decide not to tell them about it. That is it, yes.
Back from the streets, we go straight into the offices of the professionals. We need to know which are the things that when they are given to you, you can call them gifts. At what point do you say that it's illegal to keep something that a friend left in your care and the person is no more? There are so many other things about this conversation that we need answers for. To the lawyers. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi, lawyer. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
It's great to have you on Confessions for the first time. It's quite unfortunate that you're not here with us in the studio, but yet we have your voice. Please appropriately introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay, I am Kingsley Amwakwa Boadu.
Good.
Legal practitioner.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So in this case, you heard our confession, didn't you?
Yes, I've seen the facts.
Yes. And lawyer, do you think that this piece of land can be considered as a gift from his brother because he had the ability to have placed it in his will and given it to whoever, but he ignored it absolutely and nobody knew of its existence, just him and his brother? Can we call this a gift?
It's difficult to say it's a gift. Now, the fact as related to me, it doesn't show that a will was made. And so if there's no will, then PNDC law 111.
There was a will, but this particular property was not mentioned in the will.
Okay, if there was a will, then it cannot be part of the estate, because if there was a properly drafted will without all the properties making the estate. My understanding was that it belonged to the brother, but he looked after it after the brother died. But if there was a will, then it should have been part of the estate of the brother.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't, no.
Yes.
The person who is in possession admits that the land belongs to the brother.
Yes.
Now, for every will, there will be a residue, a provision, which we call the residue. And so to go on the lines that if there's any other property acquired after making this will, or any other property not mentioned in this will forms part of the residue, and it goes to, then the name will be mentioned.
Okay.
And so if there's something like that in the will, then it has to go, and it's part of the brother's property, then it has to go to the person whose name is mentioned. It normally goes to the wife and children in the residue.
Okay.
So or probably one of the children. And so if that is captured, that all other properties not mentioned here forms part of the residue, and it goes to so-and-so, then that should follow through.
Okay, lawyer, just for educational purposes, if, for instance, a friend left some jewelry with me for safekeeping, and for some reason this person died, and the family do not know, I, as the safekeeper, what are the legal, processes that I would have to go through just to put it right back at the right place with the right people?
Okay, so if that occurred, a trust has been created. All right, and in every trust, there must be a settlor, a trustee, and a beneficiary. Now, the person who created that trust is called a settlor. So once he sets the trust in process, and we have all these three present, the settlor gets out of the picture. Then you have someone to manage that property to the benefit of third parties. Those third parties are the beneficiaries.
Yes.
In this instance, the wife and children are the beneficiaries. And so the person who's been in possession of this land or this property should look after it to the sole benefit of the beneficiary. And so he should be made to account for how he's managed the land and give account, and all monies are due out of this property must be given to the beneficiaries.
Whoa.
Okay? And the fact that a trust is created does not mean that it should be documented. The court will look at the fact and determine that a trust is created. Once the trust is created, the courts are strict, will make sure the trustee has to comply. Now, the trustee will be paid his services for managing the trust property, but he cannot benefit from the trust. If he benefits from the trust, then there's something untoward which has happened, and he should be made to account for that.
Okay.
Now, along the line, we also see that gold has been discovered in the land. Now, that gold did not belong to the settlor, i.e. his brother.
Okay.
And therefore, that gold cannot also belong to the beneficiaries. Because all gold or all natural resources in their natural state in Ghana belongs to the people of Ghana.
Okay.
And it's managed, it is held in trust by the president. That's why you have to apply to the Minerals Commission to even get a permit to come and mine. And so that gold is discovered doesn't change the scenario.
Okay.
It will not even make him richer because the gold doesn't belong to him. It's the land where the gold is situated that belongs to him. But whatever natural resource is embedded in the land cannot belong to him. So let's deal with the land as property now.
Okay.
Land includes property in or affixed onto the land. All right.
Thank you.
As I said, trust is created. Now, the law of trust is a bit complex but very rigid. And every court you go to will make sure that he complies with the trust. Now, because it's not written, we don't know the terms of the trust. But the generic position is that he just manages it to the benefit of the wife or the spouse and children of his brother. And so he should be made to account for that. So it is for the wife and children to take steps. All right?
Yes.
To take steps, to sit this man down and give a very short time to account. If not, they must sue him and say that this asset was part of our father and husband's estate, and therefore he should be made to account for that.
Right.
It doesn't look like the wife and children knew about it yet, from the fact that's related, knew about it yet. But he cannot go scot-free if he doesn't give it to them.
Okay.
In law.
Okay.
The other part about the dreaming and seeing his brother, these are spiritual matters, and the law does not concern itself with spiritual matters.
No. But lawyer, there is something I wanted to ask you. If I come to you to say that my mother is dead, and my mother has been coming into my dream telling me that she kept some jewelry or gold with a big cousin, can I go to the police station with my dream and ask for an investigation?
No, you can call your cousin and inquire from your cousin, but until you get property value, evidence which is of property value,
it's only a dream.
Property value as in what we can use our ocular or our five senses to determine as evidence. You can't use your any esoteric or sensory powers to determine. You can't just say that I had a dream and therefore I have a case. You should work on the dream. You should call other people. You should sit down with
find evidence
and then get statements and get pieces of evidence of property value. That is what you can adduce in court.
Thank you, lawyer. It's been great having you, Lawyer Boadu, on our Confessions tonight. Thank you. I hope that next time we call on you, you'll be right here in the studio with us. Have a good evening. That was very, very informative. We're trying to give help to the gentleman that dreamt. Now back to the main issue at hand. He dreamt his brother has been coming into his dreams and asking him to give the property back. To quote him, Ada, are we giving the Japadia to them? Are we coming clean, letting the family know that he possesses it, or what's the way forward?
Why not? I don't think that we need to get to a point where your brother has to surface and, be hunting you. There are some things that, be a human being, even if you don't want to be a Christian or Muslim, be a human being and know that some worth cannot be enjoyed only by you. Allow other people to be beneficiary of this gold. Let it be a legacy of the family.
Yes.
10 years to come. That's the problem we have as Africans. Everything is to ourselves. This is your brother. He had a wife, he has children. You have wife, you have children. And when you are no more, somebody will take over. So why won't you declare this? Call the family. This is what the Lord has blessed us with.
And before, it was just a cocoa
farm. It was
farm.
just a cocoa. Now we have discovered. You will get people in the family who have idea about gold mining, who have experience or how to refine gold into stuff. You have people who in the family who are abroad, who needs to get out of that code and come back home and come and work and make sure that our family has a name. That in the next 30 years, when I mention my surname, there should be some salutation because I'm coming from some family. That is what we should do. Beautiful. Why are you waiting for God to hunt you?
Thank you. He didn't need a dream.
No.
He just had to declare.
Oh, man.
Also, this is what we have at hand. What is the solution?
Okay, so let me speak a bit on the dream. You see, that dream is the true intention of the brother's giving.
Okay.
That dream the gentleman is having is the true state of hearts when the man gave the gift.
Yes.
So that one day it will be a blessing to the family.
The whole family,
you understand?
not just
and then he is refusing to do that. Let me tell you why he's saying that. You see, the wife and the kids, spiritually or by spirituality, they have angels that work and walk with them. Now, angels are able to take forms and actually collect that which belongs to you rightfully. So in interpreting that kind of a dream, the angel of the wife
and children may be at work.
Exactly. Will go to the man and tell them that, look, we are aware that our father left A, B, C, D for you. Now, the angel will have to take a form the man knows. The angel has to take a voice the man understands. So he will take the form of the brother and say that you need to return this thing back to my people. And if he doesn't return it, he may end up losing his life because they won't stop. You understand? So the solution is that, you know, like my sister said, be human. People are greedy. I don't know why people are so greedy. Be human. Understand that you cannot even eat of that all by yourself.
He's actually old, 63 years, and actually ailing.
Imagine that. So what do you need that for, really? You know, just don't stop being greedy. Be human and have a good heart for people. You understand? Release it for your family. It's a generational blessing. It's not even just a today thing. It's a generational, because the gold has been discovered. You understand? So he should just do the needful and then the right thing and trust God that even if he also has kids, his kids may also eat from that same blessing.
On the show tonight, I know that there are angels that can go and work things out for us. There are dreams we should take seriously and those we couldn't be bothered by. People, it's been so educative and interesting on tonight's edition. And same time next week, with the help of MTN Ghana everywhere you go and Echo Plus seating us like royalty, we come your way again.